Well, I'm actually going to start a conversation with Sibusiso Vilane, my good friend. Hello to our followers, hello to our friends, hello to our fellow climbing uh, enthusiasts. This is a very important day for us. Not only do I get FaceTime with the person I call my friend, my brother, the man who takes me up mountains when fam is going, what? And my mother's going, I want to meet this man who keeps taking you away from home and into danger. Sibusiso Vilane, the first South African Black person, man, hero to take on Everest twice, from the north and the south, and then to leave our shores to go across to the South Pole with just his buddy and no assistance. And what that means, and he'll remind you, is that they didn't have Sherpas or porters. And I do it like this because every time I'm on the mountain with him and I ask for a porter, he looks at me like I've just like, what do you look
Yeah.
at? Like, how a porter
No,
that, Jerry?
oh,
Yes.
Jerry. Uh, it is. You're so kind to introduce me like that, and I just feel very humbled. But yes, greetings everyone that's watching, and to you, Jerry. Thank you for connecting with me. And as you correctly said that this day last year we were leaving our country to go to a big expedition. But fast forward 12 months later, here we are grounded. But the good thing is the mountains are still calling. So the
Yeah.
question is, what happens now when the mountain is calling, but you are locked down? I
Yeah.
mean, I reflect on what I had already achieved by this time last year, or done practically and physically last year. I had already run 4 marathons. I'd ridden or cycled 900 kilometers from Johannesburg to Durban, Scottsboro, over 9 days. And you had been walking up and down looking like a crazy lady with a backpack, in and outside the house to the shopping malls and everything. And all of that came to a crushing halt come whatever. Was it March for us? And it was probably about December for the world
Yeah.
under this phenomenon called COVID-19, which has got all of us grounded. It doesn't matter where you are. So that is what we are dealing with at the moment. And our country has been, what, 47 days in total
It's
lockdown?
yeah, it's been too long, but it's been necessary. And for us, I wish we could help people understand that while, or I hope we can help them understand that while we are grounded, because remember, I called you and I said, it's so hard for me because I'm not a treadmill runner, I'm a road runner. And there's no tar under my feet. And I'm not a wall climber. I'm a mountain climber, and there is no dirt under my nails. There is no dirt under my feet. And I
And
actually
yeah.
I actually started to feel and yearn for exactly that. And I had to think about the amount of mountains other people are climbing that are not physical.
Yeah, well, we climb a lot of those, Jerry. I think the many of us that have been practically and physically been out there to climb mountains, it I wouldn't say it's sort of very easy in the first time you hear there is a blockade, but we grow to overcome that because we know that these are the disciplines that are required or necessary to stay focused, to maintain the that lifestyle that you've been living. But it becomes very difficult then when you find yourself in the confinement of your little space to say, what is happening? What are we doing? As you said correctly and rightly, that we are not those stunt climbers. We are not those people that do it for the social media likes or anything. We are genuine people. We want to do the real stuff. And that's why you and I would feel that we are lost completely, having not to run, which is what I do. I've never been to the gym. I don't like the gym. It's my preference. I believe that we all have got our disciplines that we feel at home when we do. Other people's like the gym. I don't want that. I want to be out in the streets. The only time I feel excited is when I put on my right pair of my running shoes and go out and pound the streets and run and listen to the little bird and the wind and the sun. That's me. So if you take that away from me, then I'm completely lost. So it called me to readjust and readapt. But like you said correctly, I'm talking about now the lockdown. It was an unfortunate necessity.
Yes.
So when we realize that it is an unfortunate necessity, therefore you challenge yourself around how do I then adapt to this commonly known thing called new normal now, which is abnormal, really. But that was that. So I want to tell everyone that is out there listening, I never climbed the wall behind me. No, I didn't do that. I couldn't climb wardrobes and fridges, and I couldn't do it. So yeah, I don't know. But you had been walking up and down now, and you fell over the steps the other day because you couldn't bear the thought of having to be sitting inside your house, not doing an activity.
I did. And, I want people to, again, if you've just joined us, I'm speaking to Sibusiso Vilane. He is a mountaineer, first Black African to do Mount Everest and summit Mount Everest twice, first Black African to hit the South Pole. And I think the first Black African to convince me that I can climb the 7 wonders of the world, high altitude mountains. And as I wrote on my Instagram and Facebook the other day, I would like to introduce every single one of you to a life above 5,000 meters above sea level, because it is a phenomenal world. It is a beautiful world. It's not nearby. It is hard, but there's a romanticism about climbing high altitude that really brings one quite a lot of joy. My own brag book is not thick like Sibusiso's in terms of mountains. I've summited Kilimanjaro 3 times. I was taken today, a year ago, by Sibusiso to Mount Everest, to Nepal and Mount Everest, to travel toward base camp on Mount Everest. And then earlier this year, and that was also a mountain, he took me to, I say you took me, he forced me, no he didn't, it was easy to convince me, to go